Welcome to Shooty SuperCoach. How's it going, guys? I'm cutting it pretty fine to the first bounce. So I was just been stuffing around, really. Just laid down, listened to the radio for a bit, and it was like 7:15. I thought, shit, I think the game starts at 10 past, so I better get stuck into it. So we'll take a look at these teams. Obviously, this bye round is pretty chill with just two sides missing. So it's not really about feeling enough for this week. It's more about making sure that there's no absolute carnage for next week. I've got quite a few players in that mid-price sort of madness range that a few people are talking about. I'll have my thoughts on all of those. I did say on the live session that I'd tell you just a little Marketplace update story that happened to me the other week. You get some strange cats on Marketplace, and I used to collect N64 games and like buy them, sell them sort of thing. And I just had about 5 or 6 left over from years back, and I thought, I may as well sell them, nostalgic, but I'm never going to play them, and they're worth a little bit of cash, so I chucked them on Marketplace. Anyway, this one fella, he's quite interested in one. Yep, mate, what do you reckon? Yeah, price is good, cool, sweet, come around, picks it up, all good, no worries. It was 75, or the first time he bought one game. Then he said, do you have any others? I came back, I was like, yeah, I've got these two, they're the same game, 75 each. Yeah, well, I'll think about it. Messaged me, comes back, yep, cool, like it, no worries. $75 brings me the $100 note. Now, I'm all for $100, but you can't be asking a man for change when you go to Marketplace. So he came to the door, he's like, oh yeah, I'll take that one. Oh, do you have change? I'm like, as if I've got change. I had a $5 note, and luckily my sister had a $20 note. So I was able to get some change, but come on, man. You can't be expecting change from this exchange. But anyway, I had 2 of the same game. He said, if it doesn't work or if it's glitchy, can I swap it over? I'm like, mate, that's fine. He messaged me later that night, screenshot, it's frozen on him. Yep, all good, mate, swap it over. Message me, we'll work out a time. Anyway, I'm just in the gym the next day. I'm just working out, getting stuck into it, and Caitlin knocks on the door. She's like, there's some guy here wanting you at the front door. And I'm thinking, fuck, what is this? I'm thinking it's like another neighbour with a noise complaint or something. And it was him. It was old mate Marketplace. He just rocked up unannounced. It's just a little bit concerning, and I'll check the messages. I was like, was I not clear here? I was like, I clearly said, message me, we'll work out a time, and we'll go from there. Yep, no worries. He's just rocked up. He's like, oh, sorry, man. I just thought I'd, he actually did message me like, I'll come round now. But I didn't check. Like, I was in the gym, like, you'd think you'd wait for a little, no worries, mate. Like, he didn't even know if I was home. Like, strange stuff. I mean, I guess that's the fun and games of giving you a address out on Marketplace. But anyway, haven't heard from him since. I hope he's enjoying a bit of N64 Super Smash Bros. So, it takes all types. But let's look at these teams, because I do want to talk about some of these mid-price guys. I also don't want any carnage from these teams. It'd be ideal to get a couple of rookies back here and there, but I sort of given up on that hope. But yeah, no chaos, please, and we'll be right. So obviously we knew these ones. Lewis Malikan actually scored all right, didn't he? Which was pretty random, so he could be a somewhat rookie price player to bring in. Ollie Lord may hurt a couple, probably not many. Few changes for the Dogs, but nothing too SuperCoach relevant. Nothing too much there. Thinking about bringing in Lockie Neal, as you guys are also doing. I know a lot of you guys are looking at that as well. Old mate Chesser just cannot find his way into the side no matter what happens. He's really starting to just piss me off. Marriage is obviously someone to consider at 102k. Not too much chaos there. Obviously, we knew about Darcy. Ben Cunnington comes back. Yep. Nice. Yep, no real danger. Obviously, Sunday teams, and we'll work out the Monday teams soon enough. So, that's not too bad. That isn't too bad at all. Now, I might just show you my trades. At this stage, I'm thinking, so a big talking point is what to do with Ziebell and Sheezel. Now, I'm thinking I trade both of them. So, Aaron Hall, I thought they could probably exist in the same back line, but it would seem that Ziebell is getting affected by Aaron Hall. They averaged big numbers with each other a couple of years back, but for whatever reason, it has coincided with it. If it isn't the real reason, then he is just struggling. So I sort of think with Ziebell, you either got to think about it real hard right now and go, I'm either committing to him for a long time or I'm trading him right now. There's no point giving him one more week, because if he fails again, you'll be like, oh shit, I kind of knew that last week, and now he's dropped another 60k or something like that. So there's no point in that. So I'm thinking a trade. It all depends how many trades you have left. I've gone through it all. I feel like it's enough. What's going on here with the little plus there? And with Sheezel, look, I've ummed and ahed over a few weeks whether he is a premium. I feel like as a halfback flanker potentially, but I think as a forward, no. So let me just see. Oh, so Ziebell was named on the extended bench. Right, I was a bit confused there for a second. So yeah, I think Sheezel's done his job. He's done great for us, more than his job. He's been amazing. Potentially off halfback, he could have been a premium, but I just think mid-time, forward time, bit more forward time, particularly as others come back, couple of poorer scores, I'm prepared to just upgrade him to a much better option that I can trust a hell of a lot more. It's not to say he can't bust out some consistent 90s. And it's not to totally write off Ziebell either, but I'm just trying to play the percentages, trying to play the break even. So I'm thinking Ziebell out, Sheezel out. I was going to bring in Clayton Oliver, but obviously there's a fair bit of doubt over whether he's going to play. So I think I'm just going to go Lockie Neal. Wouldn't mind getting both of them anyway, so I'm just going to get Neal. And Darcy Cameron, I think I will go with as well. There's a few options I do like and are tempted by, but I just want Darcy Cameron for that forward ruck eligibility. You just never quite know when that'll come in handy later in the year. If English is rested or Marshall is rested, could come in super handy. So, as you can see, plenty of options there on the field. That's no issues. VC style, I think I'll probably go... I reckon I'll probably go Jordan Dawson. Yeah, I just feel like Jordan Dawson might be due for a big one. Probably go Dawson into Bontempelli. Sorry, they're playing Friday night, aren't they, the Dogs? So I'll back English in, because I just think against that ruck department for the Port, we saw what English could do against a pretty weak ruck opponent in the Cats. He dominated. So, I mean, Scott Lycett is all right. I might think about that one. Bontempelli versus English. I might have a bit of a think and ponder that one. But, yeah, I'll talk about a few of your guys that was brought up in a moment. But, yeah, otherwise, I'm sort of looking at my team and just kind of thinking I pretty much need 3 upgrades with about 7 trades. But money in the bank. So I'm not too concerned. I'm pretty confident I'll have a complete team with 2-3 trades left for emergency, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. I'm confident I can get Butters. If I need to skimp out and get a Cripps or a Walsh or someone a little bit cheaper, I think that's possible. So I'm relatively happy with where it sits, albeit it will get a little bit tight with the trades, but I'm fairly happy with where we're at. Now, I want to talk about some of these players, and look at the top row. I mean, Himmelberg, Fyfe, Yo, Cameron. Cameron was Darcy, so he's a bit of a separate conversation. I really trust Darcy Cameron. I've sort of spoken about him, but Ben Keays as well. So let's just go through them. Ben Keays, got to credit Jason here. He was onto it a long way out. Back-to-back tons, playing midfield time. The centre bouncers back it up. But I had lots of input on the live session from Adelaide supporters, people in the know. Does sound like you play more midfield time. Also sounds like a lot of that is related to his tagging role. Doesn't sound like he's absolutely locked and loaded to make a return to the midfield all the time. He did use the ball extremely poorly on the weekend and still managed to score 100. So even though it's great for SuperCoach, it might go against him in terms of holding his spot in that midfield group. I've thought long and hard about it. It's a no from me. if you are doing it, I understand. We don't have many rookies. I get it. I understand it. But I'm happy to play away from it just because I think Ben Keays is a guy that I'm eventually going to trade out of my team. And with not many trades left, I just sort of want to be bringing in guys above 350k that are going to stay in my team. I sort of feel like I just don't need to make that move, particularly with how much coin Briggs is making on the bench. I think I'll be okay for cash gen. Elliot Yeo, again, totally understand if you go with him. I myself just don't trust the guy. I just don't want to go with him. You know, he looked back last week, 7 clearances, 125. That's awesome. Break even's fantastic again, 6. You know, so these guys will make you money. They will, but they could end in absolute heartbreak. So we've got 4 of these guys. I only have strong thoughts on one of them, and that's Fyfe. Probably 2 of these guys will probably work out real well. But picking the 2, I couldn't tell you. You know, they've all got potential upside. They've all got big risks around them. That's why they're at that price. So it just depends where your guts lies. You know, if you've got that real gut feel about someone, too much risk here, you've really thought about this here, or you've copped that, you know, it's just, it really comes down to your own trade situation, how much faith you have in these guys. So I'm happy to pass on Yo. And then Himmelberg's a different one for a different reason because he's moved down back. And again, is that a permanent move? I've got no idea. Why did he go back? You know, because if he plays down back, he scores. He scores really well. I'm not prepared to take the punt on one game. And again, he's not dirt cheap like some of the others. I would prefer Yo ahead of Himmelberg. And Fyfe, it's a straight up no for Fyfe. Now, I get he's building his minutes up. I get he's looking better. I get they probably do want him in that midfield more and more and more as the season goes on. But this is a man who scored 3 in the 20s across 5 games. And yes, sub-affected, etc. But come on, like, break even at 26, there's no rush. It's not like he's minus 30 break even. Like, just wait. I mean, if he comes out and scores 87, looks back, and so what if he goes up 30k? That's a good investment. I'd pay 30 grand in SuperCoach to just make sure if Fyfe is back or not. It's not a disaster if we get him at 280 or 270, if then we understand he is back. Because at the moment, he really hasn't shown any real signs of being absolutely back. Should make some cash, but I'm happy to wait. So if I had to order these guys in terms of who I would want, I would go Keays, number 1 priority, Yo, number 2, Himmelberg 3, and Fyfe 4, without having a stack of confidence about any of them. And I've entertained all of them over the last 24, 36 hours since the live sesh, but none of which I'm going with. So, spoken about the 2 roos there. Malikan, happy to wait on him. I mean, he's probably playing as you're watching this because I'll probably get it out after the bounce, but could be a handy downgrade at, I think he scored 87, and I think he's about 170k or something. There's some good typing right there. 172 and he scored 87. So we'll get a good look at him tonight. I don't know too much about him. We'll get a good look tonight. And O'Shea Mullen, I saw quite a few guys bring him in. Look, it's worth noting at 102k, you know, it's a great price. He's on the bubble, etc. But Cats have the bye, and I'll be shocked if he's named next week. I mean, he might be, but I feel like Geelong have a lot of players coming back, and I would be surprised if he is named for another week or 2. That might be enough for you. You might just need him to get you through the buys, but just buyer beware. It's just something to think about. So that's the way we are rolling this week. I'm going to have a bit of a think on Bontempelli versus English, but hopefully tonight's game goes well. Hopefully Buddy kicks a few. And yeah, I'm going to wind it up there because I want to just upload this bad boy, get me dinner on, and get stuck in the footy and a bit of the cricket. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.